Right, students. So today we will be discussing about how flowers reproduce, which is, what do we call it? We call it pollination. Right. So how does this happen, and what are who are the things that helps this? Who are the beings that helps to make this process a successful one? So we will discuss about that today. Now here I have drawn a flower, but let's come to the story. Alright. So pollination. What is pollination? What do you all know about? We call the reproduction process of flowers as pollination. There are two ways. What are those? Self-pollination and cross-pollination. Right. Before coming to that, let's look at this. I have already named the parts of a flower. Yeah, I hope you can see this properly. So here we have the stigma, the ovary and the ovules, which is the female part of the flower. First of all, we know that for reproduction we need male as well as female parts. So the female part of the flower is the stigma style, and the ovary. Overall we call it the gynoecium. And we have the androecium, which is the male part of the flower. Right. The male part consists of anther and filament. Right. So what happens is, when insects come, and when these flowers, we know they have nectarines, they have nectar. So because of the smell and the color of the petals, they have, some flowers have colorful petals, they have a good odor, they smell nice. So what happens, the insects get attracted. When you smell good, what happens? People get attracted towards you like that. When the flower smells good, the insects get attracted towards them. So when they come and drink the nectar present in the nectaries, what happens? The pollen, there's pollen in the androecium, like in the anther there's pollen. They are sticky. They can stick into the insect. Let's consider a honeybee. When this bee comes and drinks nectar or whatever the insect you prefer, the pollen gets attached to his body. They are sticky, and then he doesn't stay there. He goes around the flower drinking the nectar. So the pollen gets transferred into the stigma. Here we have the stigma. It gets transferred. The pollen gets into the stigma. So let's say this is the stigma. So in the stigma, let's say this is the pollen. Right. So what happens to the pollen? The pollen will grow into the ovary. The pollen will grow into the ovary with time. And then it will, in the ovary, the fertilization processes will occur, the reproduction cycle will occur, and a fruit will be produced. This is just a touch. A fruit, we will discuss this in detail next. So overall what happens is, after fertilization, cell division and all, the fruit will be produced. The flower, this ovary, the ovules will convert into the seeds, and the ovary will convert into the fruit. Right. So that is how pollination happens. Now I told you there are two types of pollination: self-pollination and cross-pollination. So self-pollination is the pollen present in the flower gets deposited on itself, on the stigma, on the same flower. When we consider cross-pollination, the flower of the same species, okay, the same species flower, might be same tree or different tree, but it's another flower, not the same flower. The pollen gets transferred to the stigma of that flower. Alright? The stigma of that flower. It's not the same flower, it's a different flower, but the same species. Maybe a different plant or the same plant, but it's a different flower. So these flowers, now you know what pollination is. Now how do the flowers attract? Now for this process to happen, either bees should help or the wind should help. So we need different factors, right? So few of them are the flowers have colorful petals. Yeah, they have colorful petals to attract insects. The pollen and the nectar is, they smell well. They have a good smell to attract the insects. And what about the pollen? They are sticky. They are sticky. So the pollen gets stick into the animals. If that is clear to you.